Okay, so editing is concerned with revision and rewriting if this is necessary. In light of the assignment brief, this is where you examine your content and the presentation of your argument. Polishing is concerned with proofreading, so aspects such as spelling and grammar, and presentation, so things like formatting details, and is your piece of work professional. Both of these are important. So why redraft, revise and proofread? First drafts are always messy. The redrafting, revising, proofreading process is your opportunity to perfect and polish your work. It is often the stage of the academic writing process which is left out because students run out of time. It can, however, make a real difference to the standard of your work and help you to gain a higher mark. When you are planning your time, it's really important to ensure that you have sufficient time for editing and polishing your work. To do it really well requires time. If possible, you should also try to leave a good space of time between finishing your final draft and fully proofreading your work. This will allow you to be more objective about your own piece of writing. Try to create a checklist to help you with this stage. Base this on generic aspects such as spelling and referencing that you should check with all assignments, and then add specific things that you need to check for the particular assignment that you're working on. Again, refer to the assignment guidelines and marking criteria for this. Create a list of each aspect that you need to check and tick them off when you have checked each one and you are happy with it. Your checklist might include, for example, does it answer the purpose stated or implied in the brief? Does it answer the question? Does it answer the needs of the projected reader? Is there a target audience for this piece of writing? Has the material been placed in the appropriate sections depending on the assignment type? Has all the material been checked for accuracy, particularly when using source material? Has all irrelevant material been removed? Is it written in an appropriate style? For example, using formal academic writing, which includes no colloquialisms or contractions, uses an objective tone and is specific rather than vague. Is it jargon-free and clearly written? Has every idea taken from or inspired by someone else's work been acknowledged with a reference? Have you followed the stipulated referencing guidelines exactly? Does every in-text citation have a corresponding full reference and vice versa? Have you used the best available evidence and or most appropriate example to support or illustrate each of your points? Is there a clear line of reasoning or thread running from the introduction throughout the main body or section and through towards the final conclusion? Is the conclusion logical? And are any recommendations both logical and feasible? Is your piece of work well presented in a professional manner and in accordance with your assignment guidelines? Check things like word count, formatting instructions, and content guidelines. Have you demonstrated your knowledge and understanding? Have you been critical enough or too descriptive within your writing? Is there enough analysis and evaluation? Try, if at all possible, to read your work out loud. Reading your own work out loud, find a quiet space on your own so you don't feel silly, or by using text-to-voice software, you're forcing yourself to read what is actually there, not what you think or hope is there. When we read in our heads and or we do not leave sufficient critical distance between finishing our final draft and proofreading, there is a tendency to read what we wish to be there. Listening out loud really helps you to spot errors such as sentences which don't quite make sense, unsupported statements, going off topic, etc. It can also be helpful to get someone else whose English is good to read your work. They do not have to have knowledge of the content. They do not need to be an expert, but if they can follow your ideas, then this is generally a good sign. So other things to check, see if you can go through your piece of work and pay attention to each individual paragraph. Ask yourself if and how this paragraph relates to the assignment brief or topic. If you cannot see a relationship, then you will probably need to rework that paragraph or even consider whether it has any value at all within this piece of writing. What does it add? Every paragraph must make a valuable contribution. Does it look back to the assignment brief or question and feed forwards towards your conclusions and recommendations if these are included? Also have a look at the relationship between your paragraphs. Have you used plenty of linking words and phrases to help with the flow of your writing? So using language such as furthermore, additionally, a possible explanation for this, similarly, in contrast. Using plenty of these linking words and phrases helps you to synthesize information from a variety of different sources and also helps you to demonstrate criticality within your writing. They can be used to make links between sentences and between different paragraphs. They help to signpost the direction of your ideas and contribute towards a positive reader experience. And finally, use previous feedback to feed forward into your assignment. Check your assignment against any feedback you have received on previous assignments. It is really important to use feedback effectively to feed forwards towards your future academic work. Always keep copies of marked work, including the feedback comments from the academic staff, and note any areas that you have done well, because we don't always know this, and areas that you have been advised to develop. This will really help you to develop your writing and avoid potentially making the same mistakes again.